You probably know the story of the great irony of the Titanic. The ship hailed as Unsinkable sank after it struck an iceberg on its very first trip across the Atlantic Ocean. In hindsight, it seems almost silly that anyone would assume that a ship weighing more than 50,000 tons when fully laden was unsinkable. And indeed, many mythbusters have claimed that few people were actually calling the ship unsinkable before it sank. While it is hard to say whether people thought the ship was absolutely unsinkable under any circumstances, it is clear that people believed that the passenger liner's safety design, by Thomas Andrews, was state-of-the-art, and some did describe it as unsinkable before it ever set sail. Reportedly, that claim was enough to keep many passengers calm, even as the ship was in fact sinking. A vice president of the company in charge of the voyage told the U.S. Congress that he initially did not believe reports that the ship was sinking because he thought it to be unsinkable. The idea that the ship was unsinkable was advanced by newspaper and magazine articles as well as by advertisement materials from the shipping company. The widely circulated articles detailed the design of the liner and its technologically advanced safety features. Chief among those features were 16 compartments within the hull, whose doors could be shut by the flick of a switch. It was believed that the ability to quickly close off the compartments, if any of them were breached, could keep the ship afloat, even if it suffered damage. Though it's an exaggeration to claim that nobody thought the ship unsinkable, it may be true that before the Titanic sank, people were not particularly interested in whether the ship was unsinkable. The Titanic's selling point was really its grandeur and luxury, not its safety. Most of the articles and advertisements for the Titanic focused on its size and accommodations, not on the details of its design, and the affluent passengers who boarded the ship chose it for its prestige and comfort. It was only after the ship's demise that the Unsinkable moniker really took off, presumably for dramatic effect. So even though the ship was in fact touted as unsinkable before it sank, it was the irony of its tragic sinking that actually brought that claim to the fore. The names Great Britain and United Kingdom are often used interchangeably. However, they are not actually synonymous. The reason for the two names and the difference between them has to do with the expansive history of the British Isles. The British Isles are a group of islands off the northwestern coast of Europe. The largest of these islands are Britain and Ireland. Smaller ones include the Isle of Wight. In the Middle Ages, the name Britain was also applied to a small part of France, now known as Brittany. As a result, Great Britain came into use to refer specifically to the island. However, that name had no official significance until 1707, when the island's rival kingdoms of England and Scotland were united as the Kingdom of Great Britain. Ireland, meanwhile, had effectively been an English colony since the 12th century, and after the emergence of Great Britain, it remained under the influence of the British Crown. In 1801, it formally joined with Great Britain as a single political entity, which became known as the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland, or the United Kingdom for short. However, the union lasted only until 1922, when Ireland, with the exception of 6 counties in the north, seceded. Ireland soon became a sovereign republic, and its former partner took on the official name of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Great Britain, therefore, is a geographic term referring to the island also known simply as Britain. It's also a political term for the part of the United Kingdom made up of England, Scotland, and Wales, including the outlying islands that they administer, such as the Isle of Wight. United Kingdom, on the other hand, is purely a political term. It's the independent country that encompasses all of Great Britain and the region now called Northern Ireland.